How does the setting so far impact the plot and characters? How might the story change if the setting were different?
I said if they weren't in school, they wouldn't see each other as much because most of the story takes place. Some of it takes place out of school, but most of it takes place in school and when they're like in second, third, fourth, fifth, and up to eighth grade. So I think if the setting weren't the right place, they wouldn't get to see each other as much, and then so they wouldn't see each other as much, so they wouldn't have to get along as much. And he was their fourth grade teacher that put them together all the time. They wouldn't have to see each other, and he wouldn't have to deal with her.
I kind of disagree with that because I say more of the plot and setting kind of happened outside, because like with the sycamore trees, with the eggs, with the peeking over, with the science fair. So I kind of disagree with that. But some of it happens, but I think most of it happens outside of school.
I thought the setting was like, I said the setting is left as two houses next to each other, that like kind of lets them like interact kind of, because if their houses was like 5 miles away, then he couldn't see if he wouldn't get the eggs, and then none of the other stuff would have happened.
Based on your first impressions of the major characters, how would you describe him/her? What did they do or say to create this impression? I said Julia is an optimist, and she's always happy and excited. She's always coming over in the eggs with her eggs, saying, here, take some of my eggs. I said Bruce is always finding things wrong, like a pessimist sort of, because he's always like, oh, Julie's here now. He never looks on the bright side, like, hey, what's his friend's name? Garrett. He's never like, oh, Garrett's here. But him and Garrett seem to have a good time when they're together, and Garrett's not the brightest kid.
Yeah. I say Julia's kind of like more of the nosy one. Like when they first moved in, she just had to know who it was.
Yeah.
She just had to know what was moving out of. She just has to know what everything's going on. Like when she looked through the door, oh, is Bryce here? When she was looking through the window to try to find Bryce. So
I completely agree with that, because remember in the eggs, when she got the eggs, she was like, what am I supposed to do with these eggs? Because like, you don't always have to get an egg. She's always nosy, trying to get the best grade possible, trying to get, as Bryce described it, getting 110%, never less than 110%.
I said Bryce was kind of like shy because he didn't really, I could tell like, in the story it seemed like he liked Julie, but like, he didn't want to like, oh, Julie.
Yeah, like express it.
Yeah,
that's one of my questions is, but alright, can you read the next question?
Yeah, what do you believe is the major conflict of the story? What started this problem? How does this conflict impact the main characters? I said the big problem was with the eggs. It started when Julie gave Bryce free eggs because she gave the other neighbor, I think.
Miss Her.
Yeah, I don't even know how to say it. I think it was $2 a dozen.
Yeah, $2. I know it's $2 a dozen, and then they were offering to pay her more after she got into the store.
Yeah, and then she gave him free eggs instead of having to pay for it.
I completely agree with you, but I kind of had it a different way. When Bryce was rushing out the door to throw away the eggs,
I love that part.
and Julia was kind of standing there just thinking like, what's going on? And then he's rushing out to throw them away, and then she catches him, and then she runs back crying. So I think that's where like the most tension happens between them.
I think the main conflict is a boy and a girl trying to get along. Because, Julie is already thinking that this guy has the most beautiful eyes in the world. Thinks she's going to get a kiss when she's in second grade. I think the problem definitely started when Bryce moved into Julie's neighborhood, and she wants to make friends with him because there's no other people in her neighborhood that's her age, and she jumps in the car. That's when the first conflict starts. She jumps in the car and puts her muddy feet over everything, trying to move the heaviest box. And I think this impacts Bruce the most because it seems like most of his time is spent trying to avoid Julie. So he's most of the time he's like out the door before the bell even rings because he doesn't want to wake up his dad, and he's too afraid to tell her no.
And I think another conflict was when the grandfather moved in, and that's kind of when he was kind of like I don't know how to put it, like, kind of was like, yeah, the motivator to get them to talk to each other, and when it all happened, so I think he was like the motivator, and that was another big conflict.
Alright, so I'll read my first question. Why do you think why do you think Bryce doesn't like Julie right off the bat? I said I think he doesn't like the idea of moving off, like, in second grade, you know, because second grade friends are the most important thing in the world, and like in high school, you can't leave your friends. And then I also said I think he was embarrassed because the first person to talk to him was a girl. There were no other guys around.
Yeah, she was kind of like nosy at first.
Yeah, really.
When he first moved into the house, she was like, "Oh my gosh, I have to see him.
Yeah.
I want to know what he looks like."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll read mine. Do you think if the sycamore tree wasn't there, would Bryce have talked to Julie more? I said yes, because when the grandfather came, they kind of like, he was like, as I said, he was like the motivator to make them talk. So I said yes, and also from when the science fair came, when they were peeking over the tree, the fence to try to find the
Chickens.
yeah, all chickens, and so I said yes.
I think that the sycamore tree definitely helped motivate it because I think it helped them start talking to each other, because before that, Bryce, because the eggs happened afterwards, I think the sycamore tree is what really pushed him, because the grandpa called him in and he thinks he's getting this first conversation with his grandpa, but his grandpa just wants to talk to him about a girl he's really annoyed with. So I think the sycamore tree sort of helped him, because after that he was like, should I go over to Julie? Should I tell her I'm sorry? But even that wouldn't be enough. So.
He felt bad for her.
Yeah.
Mine was, will they ever like each other? Like, will they ever like each other again? Like, be friends with each other?
Well,
I think that's what's happening right now at this point, because Bryce realizes that what he's doing now is sort of wrong, because he hurt her feelings before because he didn't get up in the tree with her, and she caught him throwing away perfectly good eggs, and he made her lose $100.
Yeah.
a lot of
Free
money.
eggs.
Yeah. My second question is, if Julie didn't make that bad first impression, would Julie and Bryce have as much tension between them? I said yes, because when the eggs happen, that's kind of like the biggest tension maker between them so far. So kind of the bad first impression was kind of like a starter to it, and then that just like made the fire even bigger.
Yeah, I think. Wait, what was your question again?
I said, if Julie didn't make the bad first impression, would Julie and Bryce have as much tension between them?
Oh, no, I definitely think he still wouldn't have liked her, even if she hadn't gotten in there and pushed her away. Because if from his perspective, in the first chapter, he's there and it's like out of nowhere. She pushes him out of the way and just runs up and starts helping him. But I don't necessarily agree with his side of the story on this part, because Julie, based off of Julie, if she's telling us the complete truth, she went over, and I mean, you're in second grade, how long can you wait? She goes over and she's standing there for 5 minutes and they just didn't notice her. So I say that it still wouldn't have affected it, even if she didn't make the bad impression.
Sure, second question.
Will Bryce ever eat an egg again? Maybe because he
yeah,
saw what
That's a good,
that's a good one.
what he saw with the
Solomon.
snake thing.
Salmon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the snake.
Yeah,
How he
but
eats the
Yeah, he
egg.
said he'll never eat another egg again. I think the reason, I think Bryce at this point is afraid of her. I don't think that he's like his dad puts it. He's like, do you want to wimp as a child? And he wants him to go over and ask Julie how many roosters and how many chickens or how many hens they have.
All chickens.
They're all chickens, you know. But wait, I don't think he'll probably eat another egg, but it probably won't be for a long time.
He'll
From
probably,
Julie.
if he wants to make Julie happy to eat an egg, then he'll do it.
Yeah. Alright, my second question is, why do you think Bryce's granddad doesn't talk to her? I said I think it's because he's in a depression because of his wife dying, his grandma, and you can tell he's never taken that ring off even with his extremely chubby fingers. And I think it's also because no one does anything interesting to him, or interesting, like, I think the first thing that he found interesting in a while was Julie staying in the tree when she was told to get down.
Okay, we all good here?
Yeah.
If Julie didn't stand there thinking about the eggs, would he have found out about the eggs now or later?
I think she would have definitely found out about it later because, I mean, you know how nosy Julie is.
Yeah.
When I first read it, when we were at Bryce's perspective, I thought that she was looking through the window staring at him. I didn't think she just saw him in the trash. And I mean, she's definitely very nosy to dig through the trash if she thinks she sees her car.
And then I said yes because this has to happen more than once where he rushes out because the trash is filled to the top. And so she would have had to figure out sooner or later.
Yeah,
I'm just surprised Bryce could keep it up.
Yeah.
I also thought she was kind of nosy, like you said.
Yeah.
She instead of like give him the eggs and then just leaving him like she kind of like stood there at the door.
My third and final question was, why do you think Bryce doesn't say no to the eggs?
Maybe because she didn't want to. I mean, maybe Bryce didn't want to hurt her feelings.
Yeah.
I said I think right now in this point he's realizing that Julie's not that bad because she's staying up there. She can get his granddad to talk. I think it's because he doesn't realize that he likes her yet. Like he likes her, but he doesn't realize how much yet. And I also said because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings again because he likes her.
I say that since Julie's kind of like soft, I would say, like, so if he says one thing like mean or bad about her, she'll like start crying and run away.
With the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't really, like, he doesn't want to hurt her feelings too much that like she gets mad at him, like already happened. So I think she wouldn't have been as mad if she said, "Oh yeah, I don't want these," or as to hiding them and throwing away and losing her money.
Yeah.
So I don't think she would have been as mad.
Also, back to the eggs. I think the reason he didn't say no to that now that we're talking about it is I didn't realize this, but her sycamore tree just got cut down.
Yeah.
So I think it's just that she's already in
She's
such
already
a
like worked up.
yeah, she's already worked up and sad, and any mention of the tree
he
gets
just
her
made
crying.
it.
And if you said no,
Yeah.
He
Alright.
just kind of keep burning the fire.
yeah.
My third question will they ever talk to each other?
Well, I think they are, but not like a friend to friend.
Yeah.
It's kind of like hi. Like, kind of like not really talking, but they're talking, but they're not really talking. It's kind of more of
I think it's more of one of those
like
subtle things, because when they're not,
enemies talking. Like,
yeah.
I don't really think.
I also think that according to Julie, they don't talk, and Bryce is really shy at school. But once they get home, he's like, "Hi, Julie. Hi, see you at school." So, like you said, it's talking, but not really talking.